So I want you to just picture this for a second. Imagine you've got this multi-million-dollar supercar parked right in your driveway.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we are talking unlimited horsepower, bleeding edge engineering, just the absolute pinnacle of performance.
Right. It sounds pretty good so far.
It does, right. But there is a glaring problem. You don't actually have a driver's license.
Oh.
Yeah. You've literally never sat behind the wheel of a car in your life. So if you get in, start up that roaring engine and just mash the accelerator.
We're going to drive it straight into a brick wall.
Exactly. Straight into a wall. And right now, according to the stack of sources we are looking at today, that is the exact state of the global golf industry.
It really is. I mean, coaches, academy directors, club managers, they've essentially been handed the keys to these AI-driven supercomputers. But very few of them have been taught how to actually drive them.
Which is wild to think about. So, welcome to today's deep dive. Our mission today is to explore this massive influx of futuristic technology that's just hitting golf organizations everywhere.
And it's hitting them fast.
It really is. And we're going to unpack a critical theme here based on these sources, which is that having the best tech is, it's no longer the differentiator. The true challenge is leadership.
Right, because the tech alone doesn't create success. We're entering this completely new era where human expertise and technology they have to work together.
Okay, let's unpack this because to understand why leadership is failing or, struggling here, we first have to understand the sheer terrifying power of the engine they are trying to control.
Yeah.
What does this technology actually look like on the ground right now?
Well, it looks like a technological tsunami, really. I mean, we have moved so far beyond just recording a golfer's swing on a smartphone.
Right, the old iPad on a tripod setup.
Exactly. Today, golf academies are deploying markerless 3D motion capture systems.
Okay, wait, let's break that down for a second because that sounds like, I don't know, Hollywood CGI. Markerless meaning like the player doesn't have to wear a special suit covered in those little ping pong ball sensors.
Correct. No ping pong balls. The systems use these arrays of high-speed cameras combined with computer vision to map the literal physics of the golfer's joints in real time.
That is insane.
It is. They're measuring kinematics, which is essentially the geometry of motion. So the system sees the exact angle of your lead elbow, like down to the millimeter.
Wow.
The rotation of your hips, the sequencing of your swing all without you wearing anything special at all.
Which is just wild. But our sources also emphasize ground reaction force analysis. So if the kinematics track the movement we can see, do the ground reaction forces track the invisible energy causing that movement?
That is a perfect way to conceptualize it, actually. Yeah. So facilities are installing these force plates right into the hitting bays.
Yeah.
And these plates measure kinetics, so the actual forces the golfer is applying to the ground.
Like pushing off the turf.
Exactly. It measures vertical thrust, lateral sway, and how the player pushes into the earth to create rotational torque. And here's the crazy part.
Lay it on me.
When you take the kinematic data from the cameras, combine it with the kinetic data from the force plates, and feed all of it into these cloud-based artificial intelligence platforms,
Right.
the AI can generate actionable, predictive insights about a golf swing in literally a matter of seconds.
All right, I have to play devil's advocate here for a minute because I'm putting myself in the shoes of you, the listener, and I'm going to push back on this a bit.
Go for it.
If I can download an AI app on my phone that maps my kinematics, diagnoses my swing flaw in 3 seconds, and generates a, personalized practice plan for a $10 monthly subscription.
Right.
Why on earth am I paying a local PGA professional $150 an hour?
Yeah.
Walk me through what the human is doing that the app isn't. Because my underlying fear here is that this 247 digital machine just made the human coach completely obsolete.
I mean, it is the most common fear in the industry right now, hands down. But the reality unfolding on the ground shows the exact opposite.
Really?
Yeah. The technology absolutely does not replace the PGA professional. It dramatically amplifies their value.
Okay, but how?
Well, it only amplifies their value if the professional stops acting like a simple information delivery system. Like, if a coach's only job was to stand there and say, hey, your club face is open at the top.
Then yes, the AI will replace them.
Exactly. Because the AI can spot an open club face faster and more accurately than any human eye.
Right, much faster.
So the conversation has to shift from just adopting technology, like buying a new launch monitor, to true organizational transformation.
Ah, okay.
The future belongs to leaders who build hybrid learning environments. The next generation of PGA professionals, they won't just be teaching a golf swing. They're going to be managing ecosystems.
Managing ecosystems, I like that.
Right. They take the raw data from the force plates and the AI predictive models, and they translate that into a nuanced, personalized coaching environment for the actual human being standing in front of them.
Okay, so the AI is a tool, not a replacement. But, I mean, that brings us to a massive friction point, doesn't it?
It does.
If humans and technology have to work together in this hybrid environment, we really need to look at what happens when they fundamentally disagree.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's lay out a highly specific, high-stakes scenario from our source material so we can really, feel the weight of this.
Okay, yeah. Because this is where the leadership test truly begins.
So imagine a futuristic hybrid coaching team at a top-tier academy. The AI system is constantly running in the background, just analyzing thousands of swings from a young, promising athlete over several months.
Right, gathering all that baseline data.
Exactly. And suddenly the AI flags a concerning trend. It triggers a red alert demanding an immediate, fundamental change to this golfer's training program.
Red alert.
Yeah. The machine points to the kinematic data showing this tiny micro deviation in how the player is transferring energy. And it identifies a massive, rising statistical probability of physical injury if they don't change their swing mechanics right now.
So the machine is basically screaming to stop the train.
Yes. But on the other side of the room, you have the academy director. This is a veteran with 20 years of face-to-face coaching experience. They've watched this specific player develop from childhood.
Right, they know the kid.
They know the kid, and the director looks at the exact same data the AI is looking at, and they completely disagree. The human expert believes this deviation is just a temporary slump, like a minor mechanical quirk that will work itself out, and that staying the course is the right move.
See, what's fascinating here is that this standoff human intuition versus machine data, this will define the entire future of golf management. Who is actually right?
And here's where it gets really interesting. If you are that leader, how do you even resolve that? I mean, if an AI system has analyzed millions of biomechanical data points across thousands of players to build its injury prediction model, how does a human being even begin to argue with it?
It's intimidating.
It feels like you're trying to outmath a calculator, you know?
Yeah, but you don't try to outmath the calculator. Think of it like card counting in blackjack.
Okay, I'm listening.
The human eye, the dealer watches a game and sees perfectly normal hands being dealt. But the card counter sees the invisible statistical probability shifting beneath the surface. The AI is the card counter. It sees microdeviations over 1,000 swings that the human eye simply cannot perceive.
So the AI is always right then. We should just always listen to the card counter.
Not necessarily, and that is the exact mechanism of leadership we have to understand here. Our sources make it abundantly clear. Future leaders must learn to evaluate and interrogate the AI with the exact same critical thinking they apply to their human staff members.
Interrogate the AI.
Yes, you don't just accept the output as gospel.
But what does that actually look like in practice? Like for a golf coach who, doesn't have a background in computer programming.
Well, it means understanding how the system arrives at its conclusions.
Yeah.
AI doesn't usually give you a definitive yes or no. It gives you a probability score based on confidence intervals. So if the AI flags an injury risk with a 51% confidence interval, a smart coach knows that is essentially a coin toss. But if the confidence interval is 94%...
That is a blaring siren.
Exactly. That's a siren. And you also have to ask where it got its information. A leader needs to look at the training data.
Like what the AI studied to get smart in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was this AI model trained primarily on the swings of hyperflexible 22-year-old touring professionals?
Oh, I see where you're going.
Right. Because if it was, and it is now analyzing a 55-year-old amateur with limited hip mobility, the AI's baseline for what constitutes an injury risk might be completely flawed for that specific user.
That makes perfect sense. The machine completely lacks the context of the individual. I mean, maybe the AI doesn't know that the golfer's been dealing with a painful blister on their right foot all week, which is subtly throwing off their ground reaction force.
Yes.
So the AI sees a kinetic anomaly and predicts a major structural injury, but the human coach just sees a teenager favoring a blister because they actually spoke to the kid before practice.
That right there, that is the crucial synthesis. A PGA professional's job isn't just coaching anymore. It is actively managing the relationship between human context and artificial intelligence.
Well, it's a balancing act.
It is. If the leader blindly trusts the AI because they assume the math is flawless, they might force the golfer into an unnecessary mechanical overhaul that just destroys their confidence.
Yeah.
But if the leader ignores the AI simply out of ego, like trusting their gut over the data, they could allow the golfer to suffer a career-ending injury that was entirely predictable.
It requires a totally different skill set. It's not just understanding the golf swing anymore. It's understanding systems architecture and data origins.
Exactly.
And actually, speaking of systems, if we follow the cause and effect here, building on this idea of giving AI this much responsibility, our sources take us into a surprisingly dark reality.
Oh, yeah. This is the hidden vulnerability that almost no one wants to discuss when they are purchasing these shiny new diagnostic tools.
Right, because if you are going to rely on an AI system to predict injuries and analyze trends over months and automatically generate hybrid lesson plans, you can't just give it a clipboard and a stopwatch.
No, you can't.
To do its job, the AI needs deep, unprecedented access to your core infrastructure.
Right. Think about the mechanics of how these automated coaching platforms actually function. A traditional assistant coach has siloed access, right? They see today's tee sheet and maybe a file of swing notes.
Sure.
But an advanced AI platform needs to connect to the player's physical therapy records to understand injury history. It links to years of lesson archives. It integrates directly with the Academy's member database, the scheduling software, and crucially, the financial software to manage billing for automated digital coaching subscriptions.
Wow. So it essentially has its digital tentacles wrapped around the entire operational nervous system of the golf club.
It has to, in order to provide the seamless experience users expect.
Yeah.
But that level of integration creates a massive attack surface.
Right. So if a bad actor compromises that AI coaching platform, say, through a vulnerability in the software's API, or even just a simple phishing email to a junior coach who has administrative access.
The fallout isn't just that someone's sliced data gets leaked to the internet.
Right. No one cares about that.
Exactly. The fallout is catastrophic. We are talking about ransomware locking down the facility's entire network. Hackers gaining access to credit card processing data, private member medical information, home addresses, and corporate billing accounts.
Jeez.
It's a total organizational breach, facilitated entirely through the back door of the technology you bought to help members improve their golf swings.
So what does this all mean? I mean, it is incredibly sobering to think that a local golf coach whose primary passion is just helping people enjoy the game now has to actively worry about international cyber threats and, like, ransomware negotiations.
What it means for you, the listener, is that the definition of golf leadership has fundamentally expanded. Cybersecurity is no longer just an IT problem.
It's everybody's problem.
It is a core, non-negotiable leadership responsibility for golf managers and academy directors. Artificial intelligence and organizational resilience are deeply interconnected pillars now. You simply cannot implement data-driven coaching without implementing enterprise-grade cybersecurity.
Which brings us to a really harsh reality. If we are giving these platforms the keys to our servers, local coaches are suddenly playing a global game. And a single country club in Ohio or a boutique academy in London, they cannot fight off an international cyber syndicate alone.
They absolutely cannot. The scope of the technology requires a scope of leadership that matches it.
Right. So if you are an academy director trying to build a secure, effective hybrid model, you can't figure it out in a vacuum. The industry has to look far beyond the local level.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, data streams do not recognize national borders. An AI model trained in Europe might be analyzing a golfer's kinematics in Asia, processing the data on a cloud server based in North America.
It's everywhere.
The innovation is borderless, and the cyber threats are borderless. Therefore, the leadership response must be borderless.
So we are talking about the necessity of international standards, basically.
Yes, we need global operational frameworks. The standards for how we format kinematic data, the security protocols for connecting third-party coaching apps to club financial databases, the baseline certifications for how PGA Professionals manage digital records.
It's huge.
It is. All of this must be forged through international cooperation among governing bodies and technology developers worldwide.
It really is about building a unified global partnership to protect the industry, but, it's also about defining the ultimate division of labor between man and machine.
Right.
If the machines are doing the biomechanical analysis and the global networks are securing the data, what is left for the human?
The most important part. And this is where we find the true synergy in all of our sources today. Technology provides the raw tools. It handles the invisible pattern recognition, calculating probabilities at speeds our brains just cannot comprehend. But technology cannot provide trust.
That is such a great point. It can calculate a 94% injury probability, but it can't look a struggling junior golfer in the eye, put a hand on their shoulder, and tell them they believe in their ability to overcome it.
Exactly. It cannot provide mentorship, it has zero emotional intelligence, and it cannot build the deep, nuanced human relationships that have always been the absolute heartbeat of player development.
So, the conclusion we are drawing from this massive stack of research isn't like some dystopian vision where robots take over the driving range. The future isn't human versus machine.
Not at all. It is about high-performance human-AI partnerships.
I love that.
The technology provides the raw data and the hidden insights. The PGA professionals provide the context, the empathy, and the wisdom. Together, they don't just react to whatever the future of the sport holds. They actively build it.
It is a profound paradigm shift, and honestly, it is an incredibly exciting time to be involved in the game. But before we finish today's deep dive, we want to transition from that global, collaborative future straight to you, the listener.
First and foremost, we would like to sincerely thank you for listening and diving into this material with us.
We truly appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and found value in today's discussion, please subscribe to our channel. Share it with your friends, your colleagues, fellow PGA professionals, golf managers, academy directors, and really anyone who is deeply interested in the future of golf.
Absolutely. Because our ongoing goal with this platform is to rigorously explore the most important topics shaping the golf industry. That includes everything we touched on today: artificial intelligence, coaching technology, biomechanics, player development, club management, business growth, leadership, and pure innovation.
But most importantly, we want this deep dive to be driven by you. Yes. If there is a topic you would like us to explore, a complex question you have always wanted answered, a new piece of technology you would like us to investigate, or just an idea that you believe could heavily impact the future of golf, please send it to us.
We want to hear it. Simply email us, send us a message, or share a link to an article, a research paper, a video, a website, or a project that you would like us to review.
Our team will research the topic, analyze the available information, and create a future deep dive dedicated specifically to your idea. Over the coming months, we will continue producing new releases based directly on the topics, questions, and suggestions submitted by our listeners.
The future of golf is evolving at breakneck speed, and together we can explore the real opportunities, the complex challenges, and the innovations that will shape the next generation of golfers, coaches, golf clubs, and academies.
Thank you again for being such a vital part of our community. But before we officially sign off, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to mull over today.
Always the best part.
Right. Building on everything we discussed regarding this human-AI partnership, if technology provides the ultimate biomechanical insights and humans provide the psychological wisdom, what happens to the pure, unquantifiable feel of the game?
That really is the ultimate question, isn't it? Like, when does the math overshadow the art?
Exactly. So when you step up to the tee tomorrow, take a breath, look down the fairway, and ask yourself, are you playing the data or are you playing the course? We look forward to hearing your ideas and seeing you in the next deep dive.